Yeah, you good. Yeah. Right. Good.
Right. Close the eyes.
The eyes have it. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Nah. All right.
Yo, what is going on, peeps? Yes, it is another episode of Pass the Controller. That's right, Pass the Controller, where we hope that you actually got a good console on you right now, man. If you got a burnt out console, then there's nothing we can do. Listen, we told you where to get your consoles from, man. You know what I mean? We should have, from our last episode, you should have followed our word. You know what I mean? We hope that you definitely got your consoles, man. We hope that you are, playing your consoles. We hope that nothing's burnt out, man. But listen, it's that time. Happy release. Happy console release, everybody, man. We're going to talk a lot about that. My name is Mark Knuckles, Carter McNucks, to all you video gamers out there. Remember, listen, respect your gaming elders, as always, man. And we got our core people, as usual. We got my bull, you looking at him to the left side, man. That's my man, Civic Minded. What's up, Civ? What's going on?
Yo, what's going on, man?
How you been?
Feels like it's been too long, man.
Man, it's been a month. Yeah, it's been a
Last
month.
time we talked, it was we were living in a pre Xbox Series X, pre PS5 world, man. It's we're in a whole new console generation now, man. So yeah, it's all good, man.
I feel you, man. I feel you.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we've been talking in and out since the last episode, man. We've been having fun with our consoles, man. So I know another person that's been having fun with their consoles too. That got both consoles. Smoke, what's up, man?
A whole new world.
I hate you, dog. I hate you.
Love scalpers and broken down queues.
Dude, we're gonna talk. Yo.
I feel attacked.
Yeah, right. I feel like
attacked.
I'm like, dang, guys. Like, what did I do? Man, listen.
What's going on, everyone? We are back. We have returned. We're not coming back from the dead. We've always been here. We're ready to throw down tonight and give you the scoop on everything that is PS5, Xbox Series X, and a whole lot more. Mark, take it away, brother.
Oh my God, man, it's a lot going on today. Cause listen, you know how this drill goes, people, man. Listen, we want to talk about what we've been playing. We're going to talk about the news today, man, as far as what's been going on, man, since the last time we saw you. And I know that everybody has one thing on their mind, is the new releases and what's been going on, so we're going to get to that, man. Listen, it all starts off with what we've been playing. Now I want to start off too, because I'm always the last person to start off, man, because here's the thing. And a lot of people know me, man, as far as being hyped when the first console releases and just grinding on games and all that too, man. So real quick, and I know you guys been playing the same game, right? I know you guys on your PS5s. I think I've been mostly focused on PS5s usually, you know what I mean? So for me, I've been playing, as far as I know everybody been playing, Spider-Man Miles Morales. Because listen, Spider-Man Miles Morales is probably one of the best games I have seen coming out for the PlayStation 5. I mean, like, listen, I want to actually like to throw it to y'all. Like, how do y'all feel about Spider-Man Miles Morales, man?
Well, let me just say right off the gate, Brian Siv was with me the day that he helped me making sure that I was installing everything properly on my PS5, and we went to go change the frame rate, and I just remember changing it from 30 to 60, and Brian and I mean, seriously, we were both blown away on the screen. We were like, God, it was like it was popping out at us, and I mean, the windows, everything was just, I mean, it was crystal clear. Gameplay was smooth. Frames were running nice. I mean, seriously, it made me look at my PS4 like, man, my PS4 Pro, and I'm looking at it like, man, what's up with this?
Well, here's the thing, because I know it's out for the PS4, right? You're right, Smoke. But I'm telling people's like, yo, I'm about to get it for the PS4, you know, and I'm like, why? You know what I mean? It's like if you want to kind of experience. You know, and I know it's just the kind of the selfish envy.
Why, Nick Panero? Why?
No, I mean, no, because Nick got it for the PS4. If Nick is watching, Nick, why? Like, seriously, why? No, but seriously though.
What, be honest with you, now, I was able to take a comparison because before the PS5 arrived to my house, I had bought it on PS4, and when I bought it on PS4, and I went to go play it, it was a major. I only played maybe the first 5 minutes. Because I knew the PS5 was coming, but I was so eager to want to play it.
Right.
And it's such a big contrast from playing it on PS4 Pro to playing it on the PS5. And
right.
I was just like, whoa, there was a major big difference.
Right.
Big difference.
Right. And then that's what I'm telling people. And people have been coming to me. It's like, yeah, I want to get it for the PS4. Like, don't get it for the PS4. You get the full experience of it, the graphics, the 4K. You know what I mean? Play for it. Because this game is meant to be played ultra high def 4K, everything, man. Like, dude, this is amazing, cuz. Just the scene right here where he was on Rhino, cuz, and I was screaming like I don't know what, cuz, like a little girl. This thing is amazing, man. First of all, this game hasn't skipped a beat. It hasn't skipped a beat, man. Like, seriously. From the last Spider-Man game, it's pretty much, you already knew, if you played the last Spider-Man game, you already knew what to do, right? You already knew what to do. The controls are pretty much the same, you know what I mean? But it's like they added so much more because, you know, Miles got like a lot of physics. JJ, you know, J. Jonah Jameson is almost. I love J. Jonah Jameson's rants in the game, man. He's funny as crap. He's still the same. You know what I mean? And matter of fact, who's the voice actor for? Is it for J. Jonah? Is it the same guy? It's not the same guy that plays the actual J. Jonah Jameson in the movie, right?
No.
Okay.
J.K. Simmons?
J.K. Yeah. That's what I thought. So. Okay. I wanted to actually. I forgot to look it up. But other than that, though, man, I was like, they got this. Go ahead.
I will say this: when you're playing, the storyline is tight. Just like Spider-Man, it has a very, very tight storyline. The storyline you will get immersed in. Like me, there are a lot of people out there that I know want to do a speed rush through it and all. I'm telling yourself, you will do yourself a disservice. Play the side missions. I mean, I'm stretching this game out as much as I can because I'm enjoying it and savoring every moment of it. So any kind of side missions, don't do yourself a disservice by just going straight through the story because you're not going to have a true experience. When you're playing the side missions, it builds up for you to move on to the next part of the story, and it's real good. The one thing I will say, when you have those moments to get a walk around and explore, because there are a lot of hidden gems, a lot of special like features they got there, and a lot of nods to Spider-Man lore and everything else. So
right.
You definitely want to take your time playing this game. It is a heavily immersed game. Once you get into it, you're not going to want to put it down. You're not going to rush it. It's like having a nice, big, favorite style hoagie that you just don't want to stop eating, and you got to put down for a minute. You're like, okay,
hoagie. It's a hoagie.
What's a hoagie for those people that don't live in Philadelphia?
Oh, it's always submarines. They're gonna call it submarines. It's submarines, dude.
I love that you said
it's submarines. Yeah, we gonna say hoagies, but everybody else, and for those that are watching around the world and all that too, they call it submarines, man. But
I know some dude in LA right now is googling hoagie.
Like, what is a hoagie exactly?
Is that a Philly term?
What is a John?
What is a John exactly? It's as many times I say John on stream.
Named a John, so
yeah.
That's right. Yep. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, pretty much. So besides Spider-Man, because I know we all play Spider-Man, we all pretty much got our experience with Spider. Well, actually, not Civic. So I'm going to actually, I'm gonna let Civic experience that for himself. And Civic, that was the beginning part but there's more exciting parts as far as, man, the game goes, man. So yeah, you're gonna love it, man. But the other game, and I was talking to Civic about it too, man, that is also on the PS5, that Smoke. I just told Civic that Smoke, that you got to play. And real backstory is that I told a lot of episodes on Past Controller, and the fans know that one of my top favorite devs of all time is Annapurna Interactive, right? It's Annapurna. I mean, I could put Annapurna up there with Square Enix, with Naughty Dog. That's me. You know what I mean? Annapurna has a special place in my heart, man, because of the story, right? So I found out that they put out a game called The Pathless. You know what I mean? The Pathless is such an amazing game. It's probably one of the best games that Annapurna Interactive put out, man. It is beautiful. I'm talking about art style. I'm talking about the storyline. The controls is amazing, man. The controls is never hard. It's pretty. I'm gonna tell you right now, though, man. It's like in the beginning, you're gonna feel your way, man, because it's not gonna tell you what to do. That's That's usually what Annapurna Interactive. A lot of their games, they don't tell you what to do in their games. They're just like, listen, you're gamers. You're gonna figure it out for yourself, man, and you will eventually. It took me at least about a half an hour to try to figure out everything, you know what I mean? And once I got things running, the story went by so quick, man. I'm talking about so you I don't even know this character's name, you know what I mean? This they don't even introduce the character, like who she is and all that too. So basically, you might as well give her a name until they give her a name. Or if chat knows, let me know what this protagonist's name is, man, because she, like, for real, she is probably, you're going to see a lot of people cosplay her. I guarantee you, at conventions, you're going to see a lot of people cosplay her, and I'm going to be excited and jumping up and down, because if I see this character in the con scene, man, like, this is awesome. And you get a companion bird, a companion hawk, you know what I mean, that does everything, and
that looks cool.
And you can level the bird up, and I mean, it's like, dude, you can fly. It's an open world, and right here, like what she's doing right now, like, the bird gets infected by, like, this like the evil spirits or something like that, you know what I mean? That's within the game. So at times you have to clean the bird by rubbing them, by massaging the bird. You get to clean the spirits, you love them and all that. So it's like taking care of a pet. You feel so warm inside, man. And then
nobody wants to travel around with a dirty bird.
Exactly, with a dirty bird.
You rub your bird right.
Hey, Pause, smoke it out here, man. No, but this game, I'm telling you right now, it's so awesome, man. And what I compare it to is Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. It has the same kind of feelings as Twilight Princess. So if you play Twilight Princess, definitely you're going to enjoy this. If you enjoy Twilight Princess, for sure, grab this game. Just grab the game in general, because the puzzles are so good. Like right now that they're doing this little puzzle right here, and you got to figure out the way to get through the puzzle, man. And dude, the puzzles are not hard. It's going to make you think a little bit. You know what I mean? But it's an accomplishment. It's a good feeling once you finish this puzzle. Very good, man. And
it almost looks like the art style and the environmental design. It almost reminds me a little bit of Journey.
It does, and that's what it is. That's what it is, man. Yeah. And again, Annapurna made, and again, like right here, you have a special power that you can see, like kind of like the other world or something like that, where you got to. It'll show you which way to go, you know what I mean, as far as like cleansing temples or cleansing, totems or whatever and all that. But this game, and you get to fight bosses. I'm not gonna spoil it all, because they're probably gonna show it too. So I'm gonna actually cut it off right here, because I don't want you guys to So basically, go ahead and grab, and see people see it right now. Go ahead and grab the Pathless for the PS5, because this is an amazing game. Annapurna Interactive have blessed us with this game. This is beautiful. Like, seriously, they did a great job, man. And those are the games I've been playing, man. I've been hooked on since the release of the PS5, man. I want to get to Smoke last, because Smoke been one of the best of both worlds. Civic, what you been playing, man?
And I've been playing a little bit of everything, going through my PS4 backlog. But I did manage to snag a PS5.
Nice.
Pretty cool. I haven't really invested in too many games yet. So what I'm doing right now is I'm working through the package titles.
Okay.
So played Bugsnax for a couple minutes.
I want to play that so badly.
I mean, it's Bugsnax. I'm not real deep into it or anything. It's, seems fine.
Uh-huh.
But the game I'm super impressed with, man. And the game that I I don't know, man. It kind of like struck an unexpectedly emotional chord with me. Is Astro's Playroom?
Ooh.
It's the real pack-in title, and this is a character that has really sort of maybe inadvertently become Sony's mascot over the last
Pretty
couple of
much,
years.
yeah.
You know, when they came out with you know, the PS4, they had games for it that created these like tech demos around this character Astro. And then you know, when the PSVR came out, they had a VR version of the Playroom also, and they reintroduced this character. So now this is, I guess, maybe I'd say what, like third or fourth game, I guess.
I think it's the third game. Yeah, I could
Because
be.
weren't there like, there was Astro's Playroom, there was you know, the
Yeah, Astro Bot,
Sony,
Bot Rescue, I believe, or Rescue, something like that.
yeah. But
Yeah, so,
anyway, this game's adorable. Okay, it has kind of like that you know, Mario 64 kind of feel. You're running around, you know, switching up camera views, and it's like a platformer fighting off these cartoonish little characters.
mm-hmm.
Well, what's really cool is that the game, as you can see right here, this is pretty cool. So it takes you on sort of a virtual tour of Sony's video game console history. It's really neat,
Right.
and has these like little homages to all these iconic games that have graced, you know, themselves on these various Sony platforms. So it dates all the way back to the original PlayStation, and there's these little nods to it, and there's these. See, look at this. I'm figuring out stuff just by watching this video because I didn't know. That's cool that he did that little pose in front of the camera. I didn't even know you could do that. That's cool. I'm gonna try that later. But there's all kinds of stuff to explore. I mean, make no mistake, like this is a full-blown game. It's really deep. It does a great job of introducing you to the new console, the
Mm-hmm.
PS5, and all the subsequent technology. So, you know, it takes you on a tour of the processor. It talks about the cooling system. I mean, but it's not like this geeky high-tech way of doing it. It really takes you sort of like on this trip, this literal journey through the eyes of this character, and it's cool. So, you know, you're marching along, you're doing your thing, you're figuring out, you know, the different abilities of the controller, the DualSense controller, shows you how it works and everything. And the game is just fun. Like, it's genuinely an addictive, fun game. It reminds you almost of like the days of packing games with other consoles, like Super Mario Brothers for the NES. Like, arguably one of the greatest pack-in titles of all time. This is on par with that. It's really super fun. Yeah, it's definitely cool, and it really has something to say about, you know, the history of the consoles. Like I said, I got like a little choked up at some points because like it would show you something that you forgot from like the past.
Right, right.
It'll show you like the PSP. Like you can unlock like a collectible, and it shows you the PSP, and it gives you like a little bio of it and stuff. And I was like, wow. It's a long, strange trip it's been, but here we are.
Let me ask you this, Civ. You continue on with this game because again, we talked about this, and I've been hearing a lot of like rave about this game, and I can't wait. And I love how they acknowledge the PS symbols and the PS logos and all of that throughout the game. But a lot of podcasts that I've been listening to have said that they wish that this game was, and we're going to talk about this later on, they wish that this game was included in the Game of the Year talks. Do you really think that it could be, like, in your opinion, as far as in competition with, like, you know, what we have, Animal Crossing, Ghost of Tsushima? Do you think it could be like it could match up with those big blockbuster titles, man?
I'm thinking about this. Honestly, yeah, it's really fun. I mean, there's nothing that's lacking in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of times, you know, with pack-in titles, they do a good job of maybe just one thing. Maybe they'll just, you know, show off the graphical capabilities, or they'll highlight a new feature. Like,
right.
Remember Wii Sports when that came out for the Wii? It really introduced the player to the nunchuck controllers. You know, it was new technology. So Nintendo wanted a game that could highlight the technological aspects of their new console and sort of you know, acclimate everybody to some of this new, you know, the controllers and some of the features and things. And so Wii Sports was a really great title. And to this day, it's considered probably one of the best titles for the Wii because people played it to death.
Right.
You know, it was more than a tech demo. It was a fun game that people kept going back to. My parents, okay, my two retiree parents still play Wii bowling.
Oh, nice. Okay.
To this day. I mean, you know, especially in the winter. They're always like, yeah, it's time to fire up the Wii and play some video games. So, but this is no different. This kind of game is like something that's probably better than what it was even originally, designed to be. It's super fun, man. It's really a blast.
I gotta try this out, man. I really have to try this out. Like seriously, I've been sleeping on this game, man, and sleeping on especially the Rescue Bot for the PS4. I think that was the launch title, the Astro Bot's launch title for the PS4, and I slept on that too. I think I'm going to try this because it looks great. I love platformers. This is an actual like you said, a packing title, good platformer. You know what I mean, to actually try out, man. So I think that will be the case for me. I think I will play that next, man. So
definitely check it out. Yeah,
absolutely, man. And I think anything else you've been playing, Civ, that you've been grinding, man.
I finally beat Pangea Fantasy Golf a couple days ago. It only took me like 3 years, but I'm pretty happy. Finally beat it. That's
nice.
Cool. I finally beat. Oh, dude! Oh my God! I finally beat. I'm behind the curve, so don't laugh at me. But I finally beat Resident Evil 7.
Oh, good. Yeah, you did better than me.
I slept on that game. You know what it was? I knew so many people who were playing it, including Smoke, and I was kind of like, I'm going to let other people play it for a bit.
Right.
And then when the hype dies down, I'm going to dial back. Like, I had other games in the queue. So I forgot, like, all the spoilers and all the, the jump scare moments and everything, and I just went into it totally blind.
Mm-hmm.
And, man, I can see why that game was up for Game of the Year. That's a spectacular game, man.
Oh, facts.
I know I'm like 3 years behind the curve, but yo, what a great game.
Nah, listen. And matter of fact, reading the comments, especially on Twitch, Cherry Bombed on Twitch says, I have to admit it's beautiful that a packing title finally gets some credit. Due to people naturally thinking that packing games are pointless and stupid. That's true. You don't really get a lot of acknowledgement for like packing title games. You know what I mean? Like,
well, look at the pack-in titles that have really defined consoles. I mean, you forget that after Altered Beast, Sonic the Hedgehog was a pack-in title.
That's right.
People forget that Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt were packing.
We're packing titles. Yeah, that's true.
Wii Sports, obviously, like we just
great packing titles.
So I mean, like don't sleep on them. Not sometimes they can be just a quick tech demo, but sometimes you get a pretty solid game, man. I mean, how Sonic the Hedgehog, dude, like, that's one of the most iconic games ever made. It was a pack-in title.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, can't deny the success there.
Facts. That's true. Hey man, you got that right, man. Smoke, you have the best of both worlds, man, with the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X, man. Like seriously. So I expect you to give us a rundown, especially one of the PS5 games that you've been playing. But also your Xbox, man. Your Xbox experience, you got to give it to us because a lot of people was a little bit shady about getting Xbox, man. You the one that says I'm gonna take this bullet, man. I'm gonna try it myself. I'm gonna defy the odds, man. We says no Smoke, don't do it, man, because don't try anything. Smoke, give us a rundown of what you've been playing, man.
All right. Well, first off, let me just give this rundown real quick on one little particular item. We were just sharing it with these gentlemen. Basically, this item, for anyone who is a nostalgia collector, of anyone that came from the 80s or early 90s, who used to go to arcades and used to put tons of money, New Wave Toys came out with these replicas. It's called pre-replicas, and they're like arcade replicas. And I had just got the replica for Dragon's Lair.
Nice, I love that game.
That's awesome.
Okay. This arcade here, I spent tons and tons and tons of money. And this thing, it plays just like the original.
Mm-hmm.
Down to the music, everything.
Yes.
The coins, they even show you where they put the disc at.
Oh, nice.
Laser disc. This thing is and because I'm a nostalgia, I love stuff like this. I spent tons and tons of quarters in this. So for any of my friends out there or anybody out there who's a collector, who's basically a big fan of Dragon's Lair, this is the thing to get. It runs around 100 and some change.
Right.
They sell them at Hot Toys, or you can go right to the manufacturer and order this. I got this within a week. I highly recommend. It's a collector's item. Now, getting on to the meat and potatoes. Let's talk about PlayStation 5. Okay. PlayStation 5. I'm going to talk about the comparisons, and I'm going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly about both systems, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X. Now, the games I've been playing on PlayStation 5, basically, we talked about Miles Morales. But also, I tried out Godfall because one, there's nothing cooler in the world by seeing awesome characters and big hooked up armor and everything else.
Right.
My experience with Miles Morales goes without saying, it's unquestionable. The gameplay for Godfall visually is pretty. It's a very pretty game. It definitely has the 60 frames. Visually is beautiful.
Okay.
But as far as gameplay, it leaves a little bit more to be desired.
Really?
It's one of those games that it's just something to have, something to do when you got nothing else better going on.
Right.
And for PlayStation, because a lot of the titles, except for I believe it was Dark Souls, a lot of the titles we're still waiting on for next year. A lot of games got delayed, so it's a good filler. And with Cyberpunk coming in another week,
right,
or another week and a half,
mm-hmm.
We're going to be looking to play that. So there's something to fill in the time. But
well, here's the thing, because I was planning on getting Godfall. I mean, is this a game to like you have? It's like a must have, or can you like wait around for it?
I would wait around for it because
really?
I mean, for the price that you're paying for it, it's more, to me, it reminds me of a $30 game versus a $50 or almost $60, $70
wow.
game.
Within 6 months, that's definitely going to be a free plus game.
Yeah.
I guarantee it. Yeah.
Without a question.
It's like, it almost reminds me of Smoke. It almost kind of, from what you're telling me, it almost reminds me of when they brought out the Order 1886. Remember? Like,
yeah.
It was
exactly.
fun.
Okay.
It looked really good, and it was fun to play, but that actually did feel more like a tech demo. Like, hey, this is what this system can do. Here's a quick, short game that we're going to do that highlights everything.
But now another question to Smoke is that he says a little more to be desired for this game. What would you want more from this game in order to be like, this is a must have to get for people that have played?
A much longer game, a game that has a little bit more in depth with the story. You're playing, but you're not really understanding the characters. You're playing along, you're hearing these voices, but you kind of got a little gist of the story, but you don't really have you're not really invested.
Right.
It's one of those kind of games like with The Order, you had more of a storyline. That's one of the reasons why it was one of my favorite games of PS4.
Mm-hmm.
But with this, it's kind of like they just said, okay, we put together a couple characters, bigger than life characters. They're gods almost. We're going to put them in shiny armor suits. We're going to really utilize the PS5's resources and everything else, and their graphics and everything. So, like I said, on a visual standpoint, beautiful. On a gameplay standpoint, pretty, you get the feel for the hats and everything else of the controller. But as far as story and all, it's not a kind of game that makes me say, oh, I got to go play this again. Or it's not one of those games I've been breaking my neck to want to go back to play. I'm like, it's been sitting there since I tried it the first 3 days, and I haven't played it since. After the third day, I haven't played it.
Yeah, and Smoke Chat agrees with you. Jason Lopez on the Facebook chat, says that first, when I saw Godfall, it definitely felt like a beta demo. While it was good, I wasn't impressed if it was free to play or a deep discount. Maybe I consider getting one. So yeah, that's interesting. You know what I mean? Because again, like you said, it was short. I mean, I thought it was like a long game, long story and all that too. But with it being, it's just. I guess they just want to, like you said, Smoke, to kind of show the qualities of the PS5 or show like the power of it. You know what I mean? Which
right.
It's understandable. You know what I mean?
Right. And see, that's just the first part. The other part with PlayStation 5, to me, some of it was rushed. I think in my honest opinion, they kind of rushed a couple things because I found when you were transferring data. The word has gotten out now. People have been talking about on YouTube. When you're transferring data, there's a lot of things that PlayStation either forgot to tell you or they didn't think about telling you.
Right.
And so from transferring data to making sure you're not putting a USB drive in the front to making sure you don't unplug it until the thing is completely off, or you make sure it's injected so you don't mess up your data, your saved data and stuff. Tricks of the trade as far as when you're transferring data, it stays on that PS5. You can't transfer your saved data in your PS5 console to an extended. So eventually they're going to probably come up with patches. I like to think they are, but let me just say this. Compare that to the Xbox Series X. Now, everybody that's been tuning into our show, they've known for the last 2-3 years.
Yeah.
I've dogged out.
You did.
Talked about how Xbox left us hanging. I was kind of ticked with it. Xbox, it was like that ex-girlfriend that I didn't want to bother seeing, and they was trying to apologize to me because they didn't bring me a sandwich when we were on our last date, and they forgot to add the mustard, and I was really upset, and I didn't want to talk to her no more. And she said, "Please give me another chance," and I'm like, "No, I don't want to give you another chance. I have moved on. My new girlfriend is PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4."
Right.
I think we're learning stuff about smoke tonight.
And so here comes Xbox, new and approved, Series X. Let me just tell you right now, from the time of all I did was log on. They asked me for my log on with the Microsoft Store since I already had an account with Microsoft and Xbox.
Right.
My Xbox One. Everything automatically, just like that. Cut on, gave them my password. Everything transferred.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. And I mean, where PlayStation, you got to manually do this stuff. All I had to do was take apart my pull out my extended drive from my Xbox Series X.
Right.
The Xbox One, and put it in my Series X. Boom. Everything was just connecting and everything else. And I'm gonna tell you right now, with the Game Pass is the best deal you could ever ask for.
Facts.
Why? I'm gonna tell you why. Because even though they might not have every blessed game from PlayStation 1 all the way to current, they have enough games in their library that will bring nostalgia back for you to say, "Oh, I need this game." With Game Pass, because it's free, keep these games as long as you keep a subscription. Even after the games are gone out of the library and they add new games, you keep those games until your subscription dies out or you cut your subscription. I'm gonna tell you right now, I have been playing more of my Xbox Series X than I have my PlayStation. Right now, like, you could be playing 2 games. I'm right now currently on my Xbox Series X. I am looking at it right now.
Okay.
I got Fable on my queue. I've been playing.
Right.
I've been playing Dark Void, Crimson Skies.
Mm-hmm.
These are like some of them are Xbox One games and Xbox 360 games. I'm currently just downloading Wolfenstein. I've been playing Dante's Inferno.
Yeah.
All the graphics, for those particular games, it's like playing HD versions of these games. They like spruced up the graphics. Like when you're playing these games, they made sure that the games are up to speed on the graphics. It's like playing a current gen game.
Mm-hmm.
The frame rate, everything is perfect. I'm playing Dante's Inferno and I'm like, oh my God, this thing is even better looking than it was on the 360. Batman Origins, Arkham Origins. I'm playing that.
Yeah.
I'm playing all these games and I still got Gears 5. I'm playing Brutal Legend. Mind you, I got all these games I'm playing back and forth, and I do a quick resume because those games are on standby. I'm not playing online or anything. These are games on standby. So if I cut off my Xbox, I leave, I come back on, cut it on, everything is still where it would left off at.
Right.
So I don't have to go to the whole intro. Some of the games I have to because they're a little bit older, but most of the games are still on standby. So I go back where I left off at. Even after I save, I go back where I left off at. It doesn't stop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you right now, for those people that don't want to go through a whole bunch of complications with a PlayStation, or they got to go through a whole bunch of drama getting one, and they have a better access of getting an Xbox Series X, I'm telling you right now, Xbox redeemed themselves in my eyes. They redeemed themselves in my eyes. I'm right now, really, guys, and I swear to God, I'm going to order both Cyberpunk 2077 on my Xbox Series X and my PlayStation 5. Just on the sole fact, not only because I get to play 2 stories at once, but because of the fact that the graphics on Xbox Series X, I got to see how it plays out on the Series X. And on my PlayStation 5, so I can do a comparison. I can play 2 different versions of it, 2 different stories, because, again, with Cyberpunk 2077, we all know it's going to be a never-ending story with those games.
Explain to people. Go back to the Game Pass thing just real quick. I have a question that I think maybe other people have a question about too, and I think maybe you already answered it, but I'm just curious. Yeah. So with Game Pass, you said you have games currently in standby, like on queue to download.
Yes.
So those games that you play through Game Pass, they do occupy hard drive space, correct, on the Series X.
But
so it's not a streaming service like PlayStation Now or whatever, right?
No, the difference is with PlayStation Now, I believe When you download those games, those are on the cloud. These are like
Right.
games that you're downloading in your system.
Mhm.
Okay.
So if and when the only time that the games will not play if you end your subscription, but as long as you, and they give you the option if you want to just outright buy it, but because they normally have special deals, but when you like the Game Pass, when you download it, it's yours. As long as you keep that subscription going, that's your game. Again, think of Netflix. Netflix has movies, and then after a certain point, maybe 7 months into
Right.
a year, that
Right.
game leaves.
They rotate it out.
Right. When they rotate it out, you still keep that game in your queue. You can still have it in your queue. You can still play it.
Mhm.
No matter, yeah. And that's the because I did a little research just to make sure I wasn't going crazy. You keep those games. And I'm like this. That's the best deal. I mean, seriously,
Facts.
you know, Xbox might not have first run games right now because of the fact of where everything with COVID and everything happening, but they damn well made sure they looked out for the consumer in the sense that, okay, we're going to give you a bang for your buck. Okay, we might not be able to do this, but we'll give you Game Pass, and those games you get for free. So think about it like this. You're not going to be paying 30, 40, 50 bucks for one subscription for a whole year. It could be anywhere between $30 to $40, depending on what kind of deal you get.
Right.
You do that yearly subscription, that's it. So you're technically downloading games and keeping games that will run you normally 30, 40 bucks, and it's all yours for free.
For nothing. That's why I love it, dude. I have it for my PC, and I can test this what Smoke said. I have it for my PC because that's the only reason why I didn't keep a Xbox Series console, because I already have it for PC. And this thing,
and didn't mean to cut you off.
yeah, sure.
Nux.
Yeah.
But also, you get the best quality games as far as high. I mean, like I'm talking about their graphics. They have a filter on here where you could filter it to make sure you have the top rendered like version of the game that you're playing.
Yeah.
So if you're playing the 360, they're going to spruce up the graphics on there automatically because it's on the Xbox Series X. So no matter what game you're playing, it may not be 60 frames, but damn it, it's going to feel like you're playing like on the computer or something, or almost the equivalent of one, because the graphics are that smooth. They run really nice. It is no choppiness.
That's what I was wondering
like
too. I was wondering almost like, you know, based upon what Mark said, I know you have Game Pass on the PC. I was wondering if, like, say when you stream a game on the Series X, you know, that's an older game, perhaps what they're really giving you is the PC version of it, you know, the higher performance version now that runs on the new age hardware. I mean, I don't know that. I haven't had hands-on, but I'm curious about it. And the other thing is, too, I know that recently Sony came out in response to the whole Game Pass thing and said, you know, within the next couple weeks, I think they said that they're going to put an idea on the table, something that can rival that. And my only thing I can speculate is I think they're going to make PlayStation Now free. I think they're probably going to bundle it.
They have to.
They're going to have to bundle it with like a PlayStation Plus subscription or something like that, because you have Game Pass that gives out, like you said, Smoke, you get all these games, and with, you know, PS Plus, which I like PS Plus, don't get me wrong. I've always been a subscriber to it, even when you didn't really need it. I had it, but I think that, you know, getting only maybe 2 or 3 games a month, you know, that's really not the same thing.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I think you're giving players more choice. So they may have something that are like, keep the 2 free games, but then also bundle in PlayStation Now or something.
And see, this is why I said that I was kind of optimistic about Xbox this season. I feel like they kind of, you know, patched things a little bit, man. They band-aid a lot of the things that went wrong. And yeah, I can see right now that Xbox is kind of leading the pack, man. It's hard to say, right? It's too early. It's too early right now. But Xbox, right, from what Smoke's attesting to, is actually leading the pack as far as you know, affordability, as far as like, you know, the things we can get into with the Game Pass. Of course, subscription service is always going to go to Xbox, you know what I mean, for sure. You know, of course, the exclusivities as far as gameplays is going to be going towards PlayStation. So yeah, exclusivity, you know, with games that we want to play that's only exclusive to a certain console. Yeah, PlayStation got that, man. But as far
I don't know about you guys, I kind of like the idea that the two companies are diverging a little bit.
Yeah,
because it gets, you know, like I've told you before, my criticism of the two companies is that each one tries to be the other one,
right,
all the time. Like I think that's fine to a degree, but you want them to be different in ways that are more suited to whatever play style you have and whatever kind of thing you're looking for in a console. So yeah, I kind of like that they're doing their own thing a little bit, and I like that Sony's reacting to it. Like
Mm-hmm.
they noticed that there's a good idea going on, so hey, let's try to do something on our own. Let's maybe take the best pieces of that and make it our own. So yeah,
Right.
hopefully the gamers, as long as gamers benefit from it, it's all good.
Facts.
It's all good.
And you know what? Chad is definitely agreeing with Smoke here. First on Facebook and then Twitch. Facebook, Jason Lopez says, he said, couldn't agree with you more, Smoke. Game Pass on Xbox ecosystem, including PC. It's the best service in gaming. Plus, let's not forget that 3 months of Game Pass got a deal on Black Friday. So if you did get a deal of Xbox Game Pass on Black Friday, congrats, man. You pretty much, I mean, that's the best deal ever, man. Congrats, man. Because again, Xbox Game Pass is probably the best subscription ever. On Twitch, Cherry Bond, he says, I will say Xbox has increased performance, especially, and he gives an example of Destiny 2. He say, I played it at my friend's house, and everything from game quality to FPS is 10 times better. I noticed a dramatic and positive difference from a PlayStation. And he says, I was also quite skeptical for the Xbox Series X because I've naturally been on that Sony bandwagon since Christmas of 2017. But some companies are not only letting Xbox run their games, but partnering with Microsoft and letting Microsoft change the important things to appeal to the eye. Bungie, like I said, did this, and it was immensely successful. If Microsoft continues this with Activision and the bigger companies, they might potentially have the optimization monopoly on their hands, and I couldn't agree with that more. You know what? I said I can't even talk right now because Microsoft has been monopolizing, and we were trying to figure out, like, man, they really pulling the trigger on a lot of these things. But listen, I feel like they're really are prepping to be the bigger dynasty. Don't you agree, Smoke? I don't know, like, seriously, it's amazing.
You know what? And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's by design. I don't know if PlayStation is deliberately doing things to piss off the consumers, from them not shortchanging everyone, not telling everyone about the pre-orders. And even though Xbox did their best, it wasn't as bad as what PlayStation was doing. They were making promises that they can't keep. They were making guarantees that they did not, like, basically follow up on. They did a lot of things that were short. Then they're talking about hiking the price and stuff like that. And I'm like, yo, what happened to looking out for consumer? I don't know if they're just getting, I don't know if they were just getting about the idea of just trying to say, well, now we're the big dogs. We know that the consumers are going to run to us no matter what.
Right.
We're the triple threat. We bring out the AAA games. But I think they're starting to get a little too cocky because now it's like, well, you guys are going to take whatever we give you and you're going to like it. But now Xbox is stepping in like, oh, wait, hold on now. You guys are starting to drop the ball. We're bringing out quality. We're bringing out games. We're not AAA threat yet, but we're bringing out games that the consumer can afford, and people are having fun playing our games. The whole idea of playing video games is to have fun, not to be stressed out because you got to pay more money.
Right.
Not to be stressed out when you know damn well that you made these promises to the consumers and telling them, saying, hey, we're going to hook you guys up. We're going to let you guys know when the system's coming out. Oops, we forgot to tell you. And then with the whole thing with the scalpers, not taking a stand on that, and that's a whole nother animal in itself, and not taking a stand on that alone, it's just the fact that they're right now looking to put money in your pocket. Right now they're saying, oh, PlayStation 5 is the biggest selling thing on the market. The only reason why it is because the bots and the scalpers took all these games, bought all these games. It wasn't a consumer, and it's not fair when you got GameStops who are like telling you, oh, we're going to have games there for Black Friday, and they only have 2 PlayStation 5s. Then you got people out in lines. They didn't organize it. There's a lot of things that were wrong with this, the whole setup. And I'm not going to put it all on Xbox, because Xbox, they weren't making all these promises saying, hey, we're going to do this, we're going to do. They let you know when the game was coming out, and then, when the system was coming out, and they tried to plan accordingly. It wasn't beyond their control. It was beyond their control what was going on. But I blame more on PlayStation 5 because these guys are supposed to know better.
Right.
And especially because of the fact with the bots and everything else, you got people showing pictures saying, F your feelings and everything else. And again, it's not wrong making that money when you got to do that. But when you're bragging about it, when you're trying to double up, triple up the amount of the price of a PlayStation 5, then PlayStation 5 itself, covering all their corners technology wise.
Right.
They're giving you a system. They're not giving you options to say, I want to be creative with my PlayStation 5. Why don't you like allow us to buy these the company that wanted to make the cover? Wait. We're not gonna let you guys make that. We don't want you guys to do it. We're gonna do it. Cease and desist. And they know damn well a lot of people out there are not crazy about the design of the PlayStation.
Right.
So I got a feeling this is my prediction. Like I predicted for Cyberpunk.
Okay.
This is my prediction. My prediction is going to be this. PlayStation 5, and you guys are listening, and I know you are. You guys are going to come up with another system come next year, PlayStation 5 Pro.
Okay.
And that system is going to be new design. It's not going to have it's going to have a more sleek design in the sense where you have memory, you have the extension drive. You'll be able to do all the things that you couldn't do with this and all the problems that they're having. I guarantee you. Why? Because they're going to try to get more money out of the consumer. Now, will I be one of the ones that buy it? Probably, because of the fact that what we do as gamers and as people that talk to the masses and share with the masses our experiences. And I'm also, gaming is our hobby. But at the end of the day, it's about how much money they can make off us pimping us.
Yeah.
Well, I agree. I agree with your prediction, but it's not going to be within a year. It's going to be 2.
So?
Yeah, the only reason is because I know that right now they're having a hard time fulfilling their orders as it is. I know the parts supply out of China right now is really bad. The labor for manufacturing is really tight. I know that they have to fill those orders first, and I know that right now they're not really going to be concerned with new hardware until they get the software up to spec. They're past the point right now where they're going to invest more money in the hardware. I think that the design is out and it's as solid as it's going to be. Smoke, I know you're a filmmaker, so when I say fixed in post, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Software patches are what they're going to spend, I think, the majority of the resource on now. I think they're going to, they're going to tweak the operating system. They're going to tweak the performance. They're going to patch things. They're going to do all that stuff and get that up to par. And I'd say as soon as maybe a year and a half, but more than likely, I would say 2 years, we're going to see a pro system. But the one reason with Smoke why you could be right and it could be sooner is because they originally did allude to there being, technically 3 versions of the PS5.
Right.
Rumor was that they were going to do a discless version, a disc version, and a pro version concurrently. They were going to come out with 3 versions of the PS5. That was the rumor that was floating around about 6 months ago, and then it got nixed. And I think maybe the reason it got nixed is because of what I already said about parts shortages and the logistics and everything. So that was not confirmed or denied by Sony. So when they don't confirm or deny, I take that as a confirmation.
And I guarantee you that system is going to probably run around 700. Remember all those rumors that were talking about, PlayStation 5 might be 700. That was going to probably be for the Pro.
I think there's something to that. Yeah.
And they're going to probably bring out the new VR for PlayStation 5.
Facts.
And
they will.
That's the other thing they're going to mess with. But here's my thing, and this is where, like I said again, consumers are going to get mad with PlayStation, not just because of that, but because of the price hike they're trying to push. That whole agenda, I'm going to tell you right now, that's not going to fly because eventually people are going to be like not wanting to buy these games. They're going to rely. They're going to probably go more towards Xbox because at least Xbox, they know the consumers are not stupid. They're smart enough to know, hey, these guys are looking out for my pockets. Eventually, these prices will drop because if nobody buys the games, guess what? You still got to sell. Look at the Avengers. They hyped up that Avengers game. I was one of the first ones there to buy the Avengers game. It was such a disappointment.
I told you that game was going to be dookie.
And I was one of the first ones to buy. I was one of the first ones that had the demo. I pre-ordered it. I was so disappointed, and I wanted that game. Yeah. And the fact that now it's like an Anthem. It's worse than Anthem. And now the fact that they're trying to pick up the pieces, I'm like, guys, you might as well just call it all the day. You guys dropped the ball on that. Square Enix, I'm really disappointed with y'all, but you guys rushed it. Say what you will about Cyberpunk and all the delays. At least you understand why they delayed. I wasn't crazy about the delays, but you know for a fact from what I've been hearing from everyone, this game is going to be amazing. And so I have no problem if you push the game back, even though sometimes these people wait to the very last minute, and that's where someone I have a problem with. The real reason, in my view, why they waited for Cyberpunk 2077 to come out and they didn't put it out the same time as the systems, the consoles, is because of the consoles.
Right.
I'm telling you right now, they can talk about however they want. They knew the game was ready. Everyone knew that the people that produced the game, they knew it was ready. They just said, hey, we got to take a gamble because we're not going to make as much money if it comes out on the same weekend or the same week as Xbox and PlayStation.
Right.
Let's wait.
See, and you mentioned about timing too, and there's another thing you said about like even going back to you talking about like the PS5 Pro. You got to remember that there has to be sort of like somebody has to open the door for there to be a need for that technology. Right now, the only thing that would predicate a PS5 Pro or an Xbox Series X squared or whatever they're going to call it, their next half-step system, which is cool. You would need something that would serve as a precursor for the necessity, and the only next step that there could be technologically is whatever TV you're hooking it up to, and the next step visually is going to be true 8K definition. So the accessibility or lack thereof of 8K TVs right now is something that's going to hold back the need for a next gen console. Does any of that make sense? I probably didn't. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, you wouldn't want to bring it out now because it's like, look, in 2 years, you're talking about a world of technological advance. Technology, specifically gaming technology and entertainment technology, it moves so quickly now.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I can see it happening. Smoke, I don't think you're wrong in thinking that it's probably already designed. I bet you they have it. And I would say this too. Everybody talks about how, comparatively speaking, the PS5 is underpowered, you know, a little bit compared to the Series X. I don't think that was by accident. I think that they kind of said, all right, let's kind of pull our punch a little bit. Let's do enough that we're competitive. But once all the cards are laid on the table, once Microsoft launches their system, once Nintendo next year most likely launches their next version of the Switch, which is going to be an upgrade, then Sony is going to counterpunch super hard. Like, I think then you're talking about, you know, external hard, you know, SSD compatibility, real-time data transfer. I think you're talking about, you know, making use of, like, you know, full throttle gigabit technology, 8K display, everything. I mean, you know, that's really the next step, I think. So yeah, the future is still bright. It's funny with gamers, we always want more. We just got something last week and we want something bigger and better already.
Because they already got slots and stuff ready to go for SSD speed and all that stuff. And I'm like, the one thing people don't realize, when you buy, especially from gaming consoles and all, when you buy certain tech consoles especially, a lot of times they input stuff in these consoles that already are advanced, but they're not ready to catch up yet. But it's in the system,
right?
Whether it's VR, whether it's whatever, I've seen it in past systems, I've seen it in current systems, and don't think for a hot quick second that either Xbox or PlayStation 5 doesn't have stuff in those boxes and all. People are doing the dissecting on that. They got spots for certain things to be in place to speed up, to get better quality. And don't think that they don't have stuff on standby to say, just like Xbox. Xbox talk the same stuff. They got another system. They're going to have different series coming out for it's going to be like mobile phones. And my thing is okay, that's great, but again, give me a system that I can hold on to for at least 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years at least. That's going to stay consistent, where I'm not buying all these games for. Like, if I was that consumer to buy games for $70, all to waste them within 3 or 4 years later because a better system came out and you can't play these games on the system. Now, my only drawback with the Xbox Series X is that they talked about how massive of a collection of backwards compatibility you can play, but they did not get into specifics, and they kind of gently glossed over it. Right now, in front of me, I have over 20 games that I cannot play that are supposed to be backwards compatible. So I don't know if it's publisher. I don't know if they have to update their thing every other 2 months to get more stuff to their catalog. I'm waiting to see. So I'm not going to completely.
Fix
but I'm
it in
like
post.
games that they already have. in their system. And I have their sequels, and they're from the same publisher. So I'm giving like Army of Two is one of them. I'm giving them a benefit of the doubt. But again, I go to say this by saying, Xbox is not, it's not the be all to end all, but it is stepping up, and it's stepping up to be a major competitor to PlayStation 5. Not just with the contract deals, but with the idea of the fact that the game, the playability, the fun that you have in playing old school games that you might have forgotten about, and the game quality of it, it's like, wow. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Do you want my under 20 words or less review of the
Yes.
The next gen? I'll make this really quick, and then I'll explain it if I need to be. Okay, ready? Here it goes. The PlayStation 5 is the PlayStation 4 Pro 4.5. Okay, and the Xbox Series X is the Xbox Series lowercase x.
Oh, stop.
Now,
Done.
what I mean is that they're quality and they're great, but compared to the quantum leaps we see with every prior generation console, they're not present in these consoles yet. Okay, I'm not knocking them. I'm just telling you my impression. I'm impressed by them, but my head isn't going.
Right,
yet,
right,
'cause
right.
I think there's still there's growing room, and that's fine. When you played a Nintendo Entertainment System, and then you got a Super Nintendo,
Mm-hmm.
your brain exploded. Okay, when you then got an N64 or a PlayStation, again, you just were astounded. Then when you upgraded to an Xbox One or something, I mean, I'm just saying, or like incrementally speaking, they were like big steps. This generation thus far is like a half a step.
Mm-hmm.
Half a step. Because I think the last generation consoles were so good. So good.
Right.
There's still a lot of life left in them. They could have waited another year or two to come out with a next gen console. It just wasn't like nobody was bored of these systems.
Right.
With past generation systems, it was like, okay, we felt like, all right, let's go, let's move on. We're good now. Let's go to the next thing. Like, I think everybody loved the PS2. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the greatest console ever made. Okay, really.
Yeah.
Okay, differences of opinion maybe, but like
No,
a
I
lot
agree
of
with
people
you, yeah.
classify it as probably the most successful console ever made. But when the PS3 came out, people were ready for it. They're like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
Blu-ray technology is out. Let's see what that can do. Digital downloads. Let's see what that can do. That's awesome. These new improved controllers. That's cool. Let's go. But this time around, I'm kind of like, all right, this is all great, but I'm not sitting here going, well, I can't go back to the PS4 now. I mean, I've played the PS5. What can I do? Like I don't feel like it's ruined me for past consoles yet. Like
Right.
maybe other consoles have. But to that point, I think there's a lot of room for improvement, and that's cool. My criticisms of the PS5 are kind of small and stupid.
Yeah.
Like, why is it that when you go to your games list, it gives you a list of all your games in your collection? It defaults to that, and then you have to go over one more to go to the games you actually have downloaded.
That's true.
Then when you go to your games that are downloaded, it lists them in chronological order, not like in alphabetical order. Why can't you make that a default?
Yeah.
Why can't you make that a selectable preference?
That was one problem I had too when I inserted Miles Morales in my PlayStation 5, and
Right.
I actually downloaded a couple games afterwards. But it was just before that, man. It was like, I don't know. It just went to my library instead, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, I was like, wait a minute. I was like, is my game downloaded or what, man? So I was like, oh, please God, please don't let me have a faulty PS5. So I went to my library all sweating, and I'm like, okay. And it showed up in my library. I was like, oh, thank God. I was like, what the heck is going on, dude?
I mean, the user interface for the PS3. Do you remember how good it was? It was pretty good.
Yeah.
And it was the same user interface they mirrored for the PSP. Remember the PSP and the PS3 looked identical? Like the interfaces were like almost exactly the same. And then the PS4 comes out, and it was I think it was an even a better interface once you got used to it. But then the Vita was like this weird user interface that everybody hated, including myself. It just made no sense. I know they wanted to make it look like a touch tone, like a cell phone, smartphone,
Yeah.
icons. But then, oh God, for the love of Christ, I did the PS5 interface. Does anybody like it? Am I wrong? Do you like it? I mean, does anybody like it?
To me, it's a little bit, you know, what I mean, it's like I gave a review a little bit. I said it was cool, but it could be better. You know what I mean? It could be way better. Like I'm you know, it's just I like the I know they try to just not change a lot. You know, the difference from the PS4 and just kind of migrate to the PS5 and all that too. But it was like a lot of things was like I still like right now to this day I'm still trying to hunt and peck. As far as I had a hunt and peck to where I can add friends at, and it's called game based. And I was like,
yeah, oh,
what? It's called game based now? Like, okay,
listen,
well, I was trying so long to find how to add people. I'm like, what the heck is going on, man? Like, come on, seriously?
No joke. Do you remember how you turn off a game on the original PlayStation?
Yeah.
You hit power.
Yes.
You hit the power button. PlayStation 2, you know how you turn off a game? You hit the power button.
Yeah.
To turn off a game in the PS3, you had to like hit the PS button
and close
the application. Okay. PS4 was kind of the same thing. You long press the thing, you close the application. Okay. PS5, this is how you close a game. Okay, you hit the PS button on the controller. It takes you out to the main menu. Then you have to go down to the switcher icon, right? Then you have to go up to where the game is. You select the game, and then you close the application, and it says, "Are you sure you want to close?" I'm like, "Oh my God!"
Hold on. Because I tried to find out a way to close the game, and I still never closed the game before.
That's how you do it.
Dude.
Yeah, most people, you know that quote unquote problem that people are having when they say like, "Oh man, Miles Morales crashed my system because I went into rest mode and I didn't suspend the game properly." It's because nobody knows how to properly do it. That is how you close a game.
Right.
You have to go back to the main menu. Then within that main menu, there is an icon at the bottom that says switcher.
Right.
Go up into that icon after it explodes that little sub menu.
Yeah.
You go up to the game, you select it, and then close it. It's such a freaking chore.
Dude.
I don't know who's engineering this stuff.
I don't know, man.
I don't know who was it on Sony's design team who said, "Yeah, I know the old ways, they worked pretty well. Well, let's just completely reinvent the wheel, literally.
Like, why?
Let's take something that worked and make it unworkable." Am I the only one that feels this way?
No,
I mean,
it's
just weird and dumb.
I mean, the way I've done it is hit that PlayStation 5 thing. If I'm in the middle of a game, I just automatically come out and go to the icon for it to shut off. I shut my things off completely. I used to leave my PlayStation 4 on standby mode, like on rest mode.
Yeah.
But my PlayStation 5, I can't afford to do it, especially after hearing all the rumors and all the stories I've been hearing of it. If you leave it in rest mode, you're going to have some problems. I'm like, you know what? I'll just wait. I'll cut it off, and then whatever I have to update, I'll update on there. You know, it's not. And then also, here's the other thing they don't tell you. Like I uploaded Mortal Kombat 11. Now, when you upload it, they'll ask you, "Hey, you want the ultimate version? We're going to give you the ultimate version." Okay. Then they just now came out with the PlayStation 5 upgrade. Had to go back and re-upload the whole damn thing again.
Right.
For PlayStation 5. And all the DLC that I originally had on my PS4, all that you have to do it manually. Re-download everything that, even though the memory will remember everything that you had. Then here's the other thing. When you're playing any of these games, if they have a PlayStation 5 upgrade, when you hit the icon, even for Spider-Man, or Miles Morales, you hit the Miles Morales, you hit your options button, that little button on the side, you hit it. You got to make sure you go to the upgrade version, which is PS5 version. You don't want to stay on the PS4 version, otherwise it'll give you the PS4 version.
Right.
You go to the PS5 version, and that's how you do it. And it just, like you said, it's frustrating because you're like, okay, I'm going to get this game. When are you coming out with the upgrade? Like, they're supposed to come out with a lot of versions of the game, of all these games, Ghost of Tsushima, and they're supposed to be upgraded. They're supposed to unlock the 60 frames per second on some of these games already. So they haven't yet. So I don't know. PlayStation needs to get their.
I
crap
tell you,
together.
man. Listen, I mean, I know see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I was afraid because I never closed the game out properly because I never knew how to. And you're right. I'll try to go to the switcher, but it's like I could never find the option to cut the game off on the switcher. Like, I don't know what I was doing wrong, and I'm like, this is insane. So I'm gonna try to do it after the show is over and just to get familiar with it.
Or you just go to the game itself, the icon for that particular game. You hit the options button on the side. It'll have like 2 other games you might have had on there, and it'll ask you, do you want to go to that game, or do you want to shut down this game? You're like, yes, shut it down. Boom, shut it down. It'll still give you other categories of games that you had already been playing prior.
Right, gotcha.
Like, unlike where the Xbox, I can leave the game where it's at, and cut it off and come back, and everything is still there.
Man, Xbox.
The only technical difficulty I've encountered so far, and I think that this really warrants paying attention to, because this is the biggest warning I can give anybody about the PS5. You know, initially they said, and Smoke, I know you know about this. Mark, I don't know if you've tried this, but Sony initially said that if you have games stored on your PS4 extended hard drive, you could just pull out the USB plug from your PS4,
right,
plug it right into the PS5 and play all those games. Okay, that is about 80% true at best. Because what happens is, and I think that they've said they've addressed this by the recent patches for the PS5, but the problem I encountered is when you do that, there are games that try to re-download themselves on the PS5 to the new software versions of those games, and sometimes they forget. I don't know what happens. There's some kind of process, but you get these download errors. So I have two 8 terabyte external hard drives on my PS4, and both of them are almost filled. I have a ton of games, and I tried it with one of the hard drives, and I got errors on about 50 different games. Now, it doesn't tell you which games they are. It just tells you got 50 errors.
Yeah.
So I was like, crap, what do I have to re-download 50 games? And I don't know what they are. I'd have to look at my purchase history, and I was like, oh my god.
See, man, see.
So here's what happened. So the PS5 doesn't tell you what the problem is. Sometimes you get an error code, and then you look up an error code, and it doesn't tell you anything. It's like an error occurred. Okay,
yeah.
Well, that tells me nothing. I don't know how to remedy an error that I don't know the name of it or any kind of history. So I'm like, all right, you know what? This is a hassle. This isn't working the way I wanted it to. So I'm kind of like, look, I'm just going to use my PS4 Pro for PS4 Pro games. Like, I wanted to play it on those games on the PS5 with the performance upgrade, but then I realized it's not worth the hassle. I have way too many games to migrate. I have way too much data to manage. I have way too many hard drive. I have way too many game saves to migrate and all. So I'm like, I'm a pretty technical guy. Like I can do stuff. Like I'm not a moron when it comes to this kind of technology. Right. But I felt like, wow, this is just way more hassle. I really thought it was going to be plug and play. It is not. It absolutely is not. Yeah. You know, it's different if you have like 10 games and you know what they are, and 2 of them didn't download. You can say, oh, well, I'm missing Ratchet and Clank. I can re-download it.
Yeah.
For me, it's not that simple. I have way too many games. Most people watching this show probably have, I don't know, I'd venture to say maybe like no fewer than 50 to 100 games at least. I have over 800 PlayStation 4 games. I don't have the time to, do this. So, long story short, so I unplugged that hard drive from the PS5, plugged it back into my PS4, and guess what? Those games were still missing.
Wow.
So I still had to look for them. Yeah, it corrupted that data, basically. So I was back to square one. I'm like, you gotta be kidding.
See?
Sony needs to fix the little things. Like, how about just give us like a tutorial, put videos up on your site that we can reference that show us exactly how to do things. we only go by second and third hand information that we find on YouTube and articles on Kotaku and things like this. I'm like, come on, how about like an official source of information would be nice? You know, maybe that would have been helpful.
And you know that's why people say they want to wait on. Teddy Anderson on the Facebook chat says he'd rather wait until they kind of fix or upgrade that that issue, man. Yeah. Cherry on Twitch, man, says the same thing. He says, matter of fact, as far as like we was talking about the cutting off of the games. He said he tried doing that. He couldn't do it with his PlayStation, and it ultimately led to a horrible database corruption because when the power went out, man. I mean, so I'm like, speaking of the mishaps of the PS5, and see, that's the thing, man. The Xbox is, I feel like it's a kudos to Xbox, man. But speaking of the mishaps of the PS5 and the Xbox Series, so there's an article in Gamer Rant, right, talking about the 14 mishaps of the PS5 and the Xbox Series, right? And I want y'all to look at this, man. We'll scroll through this real quick.
Just me.
So 14, it talked about the PS5 data transfer. It says some unlucky gamers have encountered issues when transferring data over the PS4 system. This problem occurred when connecting two consoles through the USB ports, which is, first of all, it's a hassle. It also occurred when connecting a console using a LAN cable. They didn't really explain that well, you know what I mean? Because here's the thing. I'm going to tell y'all a story. I almost messed that up, okay? Because I was transferring a couple things. I was transferring my data from my PS4 to PS5. I think about it now, I kind of regret it. I should have just like, you know what, I'm not going to transfer anything. I'm just going to keep my PS5 fresh. You know what I mean? Like you said, Civ. And so what happened was, I'm going to tell you a quick story. I'm going to tell everybody on the chat, because if something happens in the middle of that transfer, you know, because for some reason, I think I exited, I turned it off by accident. And I was like, oh my God. And I had to, I went back to my other HDMI port and I saw PlayStation 4 says there was an error or something like that, you know. So I was like, oh my God. I was like, don't tell me I screwed my PS5. And so I was like, oh my God, dude, I was about to sweat, cuss. And so I turned my PS4 back on again. I turned the PS5. The PS5 says, you know, they did a whole little system reset and all that too. So I was like, okay, let's do it over again. So successful data transfer for me. But again, just be careful. You know what I mean? Sometimes the data transfer can cause hiccups. Another thing they're talking about is the Xbox Series automatic shutdown. It says Microsoft fans have voiced their disappointment about this rather serious Series X problems. It appears that some systems have been shutting down on their own. I don't know if you have experienced that, Smoke. Did you experience that before?
No, and that bull crap with the smoke and all that. That actually they were showing that people were vaping in their PlayStation, their Xbox Series X, just to like, you know, throw people off and all. But no, I haven't had any. I will say this: when it's not on, and I mean it's completely off, it does feel a little warm when I come back over. Like, and I mean, mind you, this is like a day later.
Right,
it's
right.
Somewhat warm on top, but it's not like scorching hot.
Right, yeah, and I understand.
Yeah,
I understand that picture is fake because, like I said, the people was doing it for TikTok and blowing vape smoke and all of that too. So I was like, you know, that's corny. But yeah, there has been like, I guess, overheating issues, which I mean, you can attest to that depending on where you put your consoles at. If it's not much ventilation, then I mean you're screwed. Let's talk about PS5 external hard drive issues, which Civi, you was talking about that. It says players have reported even more problems when transferring data from PS4 to PS5. This time it doesn't involve the USB port, but rather the external hard drive. Players have reported that while transferring data to the PS5 with an external hard drive, their data has gotten corrupted. Like you said, Civ, after the data gets corrupted, it's gone for good. So players better watch out for this bug. And Civic, you already told your story. You can attest to that. I mean, listen, this is insane, man. So
I didn't even know that this was an issue before I just read that right now. I thought I was like the only one.
Yeah.
Because I was like, wow. I mean, I did everything by the book, and it still managed to mess itself up.
Right. And chat, let me know if you had these problems too. Smoke, have you had disconnecting controller problems that had to?
Well, no. If you're using the controller like I have right here, what it is, if it's staying it did this with the other Xbox. If it stands idle, it'll eventually shut off because you're not using it. If you're not touching it, if you're not moving it, if say you're downloading like I am right now,
right,
it stand idle, it will shut off because it's not going to run out the battery. It wants to, but if you're using it, it's going to continually run. The thing is that the system, you want to make sure the system doesn't go to sleep because it's downloading stuff and it's got stuff in the queue.
Right.
So you want to make sure, you want to try to keep it awake as possible and all. But like I said again, haven't had any problems.
Yeah, haven't had any problems either. PS5 controller connectivity issues, man. It's the same thing. Probably the DualSense controllers cannot properly connect to the PS5 for some reason. So they talk about a factory reset helps to solve that problem, so players can download the update again. Which I mean, wow, it's insane. I guess
I keep mine plugged in. I don't even take.
I keep
I
mine
don't even
plugged in
plug
as well too. You know what I mean? So
until they come up with enough patches to update. No, they already came out with one patch earlier during the middle of the week, this past week, and everything else. So they did do a patch on it. So I'm like, yeah, give us more patches. We need some more patches on this.
Yeah.
Guys.
Hey, Knuckles, go back to that picture real quick. Number 8 or number 10. Yeah, there you go.
Number 10.
I'm sorry.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that controller. Okay, so the DualSense controller is absolutely awesome. I love it.
Oh yeah.
But I'm one of those knuckleheads, man. Day one, I had to tear that thing down. So I opened it up. You know,
really?
I screwed it, opened the. Oh yeah, dude, I dissected that thing because I wanted to see what was in it because I'm that kind of guy.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you, with every generation of controller, they make it purposely less and less accessible to tear down.
Right.
And the DualShock 4 controller was kind of a hard breakdown. You really had to use some force to unsnap it, and you had to, disconnect ribbon cables and things like that, remove the battery, all that kind of stuff. I don't recommend anybody goes into the PS5 controller, the DualSense controller, for any reason.
Right.
And hopefully you never experience, analog control drift or anything like that, because getting in there now is hard. You actually have to desolder wires to get to the lower layers to access where the actual button button interface is. It's a mess. It's a real mess. It's a great controller, but I hope you don't ever have to open one up.
Jeez, I know that's right, man.
Not fun at all.
Oh boy. How about the Xbox Series X 4K resolution problems, man? They say players have reported a problem with the 4K resolution display connection of the Xbox Series X. When connecting to a TV, some players have reported that they receive a message that's saying no signal. I know you had no problems with that, Smoke, man. I don't know if Chad has a problem with that. That no 4K, it doesn't pop up on 4K. So that's insane, man. You want to experience the gameplay in 4K, but it doesn't happen like that. PS5 download queue issues. They say that the download queue is, or I guess players have reported that some games will get stuck in download queue limbo, which that sucks. You know what I mean? Like, and especially for me, because I have Verizon Fios, man. You expect the download to be just like that, but if this happens, if your games are in download limbo, then dude, they say, right now they say everything they say these issues can be fixed with a factory reset, but why do you have to? You know what I mean? Like, it's insane, dude. Why do you have to? 7 Xbox Series X app issues. Microsoft has acknowledged this problem and an update is set for later this month to help fix it. Players have reported problems with few media app screenshots and playing DVDs and Blu-rays. While trying to watch DVDs, players have reported getting a black screen. So, hey, if you want to watch your 4K Blu-ray DVDs and all that, if you're having problems with that, man, don't worry. Microsoft will have an update for that as well too. Rest mode crash. This was a lot of people was actually talking about rest mode crash because I was like, that's insane. Players have reported. I think Cherry on the Twitch chat was talking about this. Players have reported a huge issue with the PS5 that can lead to a system being bricked. This error happens when putting the system into rest mode. Players have reported that putting the console into rest mode causes the system to crash. After the crash, the database must be rebuilt. During this time, it is when this critical error can occur that bricks the console. Disabling rest mode helps prevent the problem from happening. So hopefully Sony can resolve the issue. So basically right now, I guess if you have a day one console, I guess it's recommended that you do not, or you turn off rest mode. This is so stupid though, man. You know what I mean? Like, seriously. This is real retarded, dude. Like,
I think that so far as the PS5 goes, I don't know when this article was written, but there have been 2 major updates.
It's like a couple weeks ago,
to
I think.
Firmware.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that some of these I know, like the rest mode thing, I think has been addressed.
Right, that's good.
I think that they think it was something simple. I think that was part of. You'd have to look at the patch notes for the most recent updates, but I think some of this stuff has already been addressed. I don't know about the Xbox side, but
yeah,
PS5 definitely.
Number 5, Xbox Series X smart delivery and quick resume. Players have discovered 2 problems that the Microsoft may be fixing soon, probably fixed already. Report that the smart delivery system has been causing the system to believe a game is not fully installed. To go along with this issue, some players have reported that games have not been quick resuming correctly. Smoke, I know you good with quick resume. I know you fine with getting back to your games.
Right now, as we speak right now, I got my Xbox Series X on. I'm downloading Wolfenstein 2, Gears 5 update, and I got 3 other DLCs that are going with Wolfenstein, and I'm still playing. And I got my recently installed games that I'm playing in Resume.
Right.
So like I got like 3 or 4 games are in resume right now.
Right.
And I can jump right on it at any time I want and keep on playing where I left off at.
Got you.
So,
The
yeah.
PS5 loud humming. Now this happened to me one day. So they said the problem had to do with the issue with the fan. We know about that. You know what I mean? People, players have reported similar hum coming from the PS5. Of course, this causes some concerns. Nothing really happened. It's just a loud humming. They say the top theory about this issue is due to coil whine. The heck is coil whine? I don't know what that. I gotta look that up.
They showed somebody going into their PS5. There's a piece of plastic that slipped out between the fan and it. When the fan is running, it's basically like a piece of like plastic. And
Right.
It's just rubbing on the thing. Now, for me, when I come on my PS5, right in the beginning, you hear the hum, and I don't know if it's just because it's booting up, and then once it comes on fully, it completely dies out, and that's the last I hear of it.
Right. Got you.
only
Do you guys have your systems laying down horizontally
Flat,
or
yep.
standing vertically?
Flat.
All of them are flat?
Yes.
Yeah, see, my PS5 is flat. I just wonder if maybe that made a difference.
Well, you don't experience any humming in your PS5, right? Okay,
No,
so
nothing.
like I said, I just got that disease in me, but that just happened one time. Other than that, it's pretty fine. It's been pretty quiet so far, so it's good. Just happened once. Xbox Series X game launch issues. An error message has been popping up whenever players are launching the game. This error gives a code and says something went wrong. No permanent fixes have come out to fix the issue, but players have reported that the problem is fixed for some time after deleting and reinstalling the game. So I guess that's how you fix that too. That's crazy. There's something went wrong.
I love when you get these super stupid nondescript error messages.
Something wrong.
Went wrong. Come on, man.
You're right.
Throw me a bone, dude.
Oh my God. PS5 camera not connected. Now I don't got a camera yet. I'm probably going to get a camera later on. But players have reported receiving an error message when trying to connect the PlayStation camera. So they reached out to about this issue and have a help guide online for players to follow. The help guide tells players to use a dedicated adapter that the camera requires. It then says to review the settings on the camera, use it in the bright room, and adjust the camera to make sure it is in good position. Blah blah blah. That should be basic math. I mean, seriously, like but come on, dude. And finally, Xbox Series X, Xbox 360 game issues. Some Xbox 360 compatible games have reportedly been kicking players back to the home screen upon launch. Some have said that the issues can be fixed by simply reinstalling the game, but no absolute fix has come out for the problem. Microsoft hasn't mentioned the problem yet either, which has some players worried, and hopefully this issue will be fixed shortly so players can have access to the 360 library. You have access to your 360 library, right, Smoke?
Yeah, like I said again, it'll take me when I'm playing certain 360 games. It'll take me to the original. It'll say you're logged onto Xbox 360.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I have a lot of 360 games that are like for 360 that I cannot play on there, and I don't know if it's because of publishers or they're eventually getting around to like acclimating these particular games to be able to be backwards compatible on
Right. Well, okay. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But like Nick on the chat says, system go boom, error 404. Like, listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's buyers beware. Here's the thing, and I just want to give it quick because we're gonna go to our next segment real quick. Don't believe the hype as far as like day one consoles. I do want to talk to this about you with you guys as well. Just real quick, don't believe the day one problems. Yeah, I mean there is a handful. The media is going to announce a handful of people that's going to be like, yeah, this happened, that happened, this happened, that happened. Out of the handful of consoles that launch, okay. Well, matter of fact, out of the millions of consoles that launch, the millions of consoles that launch, only media is going to actually tell you a handful of people that have problems. Day one consoles you can get. You know what I mean? Of course, it's buyers beware for sure. But know this, that if you wait, because I know on the chat, Teddy says he's waiting a year. Everybody on Twitch, everybody on YouTube said they're waiting. They're going to wait. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. If you wait, okay, great. But I'm going to tell you right now, because even if you get a console 2 years later, those problems that we just discussed can still exist. Man. So don't be scared about getting a console on day one. If you want that console, get it. Play because you're passionate about that console, man. Because I'll tell you again, that happened to me when getting a 360. I waited a couple years to get a 360, and I got the Red Ring of Death. That's 2 years. You know what I mean? So it can happen. It can happen on day one, or it can happen 2-3 years or 20,000 years later into the future. Get your console because you want to get it, because you want to play it first. You want to build that hype up, man. That's all I want to say.
The one thing that bodes well for all this, and Knuckles, I agree with everything you're saying. You make a good point. The other thing is, out of all the problems that we've heard so far, none of them create a permanent problem. I know somebody used the term brick your system. I don't know what that error was that was bricking a console.
It was on reset.
Yeah, but they said that you could. That's not really brick though. If you can go back in and fix the database, like that's a factory reset, but that's not bricking. Bricking the time that there was when I had a PSP one time, my first PSP, and I had one of the UMD discs in the slot in the back. I had a disc in the system, and it ran a software update, and it did brick and then I called Sony. I was like, hey, this thing's dead, and they're like, well, you had a game inside. I'm like, yeah, but it wasn't running. It was just a disc that was in the compartment. There's nothing that says you shouldn't do that. And they were like, yeah, but you can't really do that. I'm like,
right. Yeah,
thanks, man.
Like seriously.
But the point being, all these problems are not ones that have happened and the manufacturers say, oh well, you're on your own. Like, I'd like to see, service records from Microsoft and Sony that say, like, hey, yeah, we were aware of this problem. We're doing this to fix it. That's great. That's fine. I don't think they're leaving consumers in the wind about it. Like, not that I know of. I mean, I don't know. But I haven't heard of, that would be a different kind of article though, wouldn't it? If somebody said, hey, yeah, I had this problem where like I lost all my game library and I called Sony and they basically told me to go F myself.
Yeah.
Like that would be a real bad problem. But from what I understand, it's like, okay, these are kind of like setbacks and some of them suck more than others, but like they're all very fixable.
Yeah, true.
Like it's like, this is new technology. I'm not trying to, it feels like we're backtracking on everything we said over the past hour, but yeah, it's true. Like, I mean, at least the console still works.
Right. But
it can be fixed over time.
Yeah. But like I said, it's always going to be buyers beware. If you buy it now, if you buy it later on, it's going to be buyers beware, but enjoy your consoles. It's still enjoy it and still buy it and get it, man, because you love it, man. Now let's get to the fun stuff, man. We ran on. We have a few minutes left of the show, man. We got an announcement we're going to talk about at the end of the show. Civic's going to talk about. But before we get to that, in another week, I think it's like 2 weeks, the coveted Game Awards will be live online for everybody to enjoy, man. We always talk about it every year. We always do like a live show, but of course, with COVID, we can't do it now. But we're going to pretty much do, we're going to talk about it on Pass Controller, man, like doing some status updates and stuff like that. So the Game Awards have issued their 2020 nominees, and we just want to run through a few of them because a lot of the categories don't really care, man. It don't really matter, man. But the main thing is Game of the Year. So Civic, so Civic and Smoke, we're talking about Game of the Year. We always talk about that. We always like rant and we says, listen, this is the Game of the Year right here, man. So here's the Game of the Year that is pretty much being announced, man. So it's Doom Eternal. And Chad, I want you to actually go ahead and basically chime off on who you think is Game of the Year. So you got Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, Animal Crossing New Horizon, The Last of Us Part 2. Smoke, who are you voting for, man?
Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima. I knew you was. Why you say Ghost of Tsushima, man?
Original story, graphics are like basically beyond whatever you ever thought it would be. Very engrossing story, from everything from gameplay, free DLC, Ghost of Tsushima Legends. It's everything you could want. You get a bang for your buck with this game. The game was received well. It was everything that you could possibly want. It was a pleasant surprise to end the PlayStation 4 run.
Yeah.
Of AAA games.
Good point.
Yeah,
Good point. Good point. How about you, Civic? Who are you voting for?
Marvel Avengers. No.
Wait, are you going to say Darth Vader? Oh, okay.
Darth Vader, yeah, is my favorite video game villain of all time.
Oh my god.
No, of these games in this list, God, it's the one I want, the one I would vote for is Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah, same here.
But I'm telling you, I could be swayed to The Last of Us Part 2.
Ooh.
But there's things in each one of those games that kind of counter the other. They're both quality games, man. Look, I'm going to tell you something. in recent history, I can't think of a better crop of Game of the Year nominees, because this is one of those first times in a long time, and I mean a long time, where every single one of these 6 nominees I could see winning it.
Yeah.
I really do. There is not a bad game in that group.
Facts.
Doom Eternal is phenomenal. Final Fantasy Remake, I mean, we were waiting for that game for years, and it did not disappoint. Ghost of Tsushima is like a lot of other games that we have played in the past, but it ramps up the quality and the story and the controls and the acting. It's great. Hades is spectacular. Animal Crossing is just pure fun.
Yeah.
Last of Us 2.
With all the controversies, though, man.
Last of Us 2. No, but hey, look, man, there's a lot of things that are controversial, whether they be songs or movies or even books that we've had, that doesn't mean they are not quality.
True.
I think that my criticisms of Last of Us 2 are kind of odd compared to what other people say.
Right.
I do think that one of the criticisms, and it's a weird criticism, I think it's a little bit too long. And I never criticize games for being too long, because I like
a long game, yeah.
My bang for my buck. But I think for the story that it was trying to tell, it was a little bit too long.
Yeah.
I don't think the writing was as tight as the first game, but it's still so freaking good. I mean, I loved it. I really loved that game. I don't know. I guess some people were sour on it.
Yeah, I feel
like the characters and didn't like some of the bigger shock value moments, but I thought it was quality.
So you're leaning towards Final Fantasy. Well,
I love Final. My personal game of the year is Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy, same here. Yeah, same here.
And I try not to be partial, because the original Final Fantasy VII was is still one of my favorite games of all time.
Right.
But so I'm trying to look at it like, okay, if I just played this game for the first time and never played the other one, well, I still feel the same.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to wrap my head around it and not be partial. But yeah, I still love it. It's such a great
game.
The only reason why I tend to disagree on that, not trying to knock you guys, but when Resident Evil, was it Resident Evil 3, I believe, when it wasn't on the top one of the games of the year before or so.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is like, it's great. They should have a category for best remake or best remake game of the year or something, because seriously, I, as much as I loved Final Fantasy VII Remake, I was one of the first ones to play it. I'm telling you right now, I'm looking at original, like some people wanted to debate and say, well, blah, blah, blah. I mean, Hades and Animal Crossing, those are original concepts.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see Hades and Animal Crossing, because the fact that all year I've been hearing about Animal Crossing.
Right.
Hades, it was an unexpected surprise.
Right.
And also, how many games of a small platform independent that can go for Game of the Year in such short time?
Right.
Ghost of Tsushima, because it was something new, something original, AAA. Doom Eternal. The reason why I think about Doom Eternal, because it hits all systems.
Right.
So, but Doom has been around for a long time, so I can't really say Doom would be that, for me, Game of the Year. But it would come down to me. It would come down. And Last of Us, because of the controversy, I was mixed on the ending. I thought the storyline was good for all intents and purposes. The ending I wasn't too crazy about. But if we're going to talk about like game, if you're talking about pure game, I say the top three would be Hades, Animal Crossing, Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
Those will be probably the top three that are going to be, out of all of them, will be probably picked. One of those are going to be number one.
Right. That's true. That's a good point. That's a good point. Look at best performance. I love it because they always give a nod to
great category.
Awarded to individual for voiceover acting, motion, and or performance capture. We always, and of course as a group as PTC, we always talk to voice actors and motion capture artists and all that too. We talked to Red Dead Redemption team. I just want to shout that out, man. Shout out to the Red RDR2 team. Let's look at the category. The nominees: Ashley Johnson as Ellie, Laura Bailey as Abby, both from Last of Us Part 2. Our boy Daisuke Tsuji as Jin Sakai from Ghost of Tsushima.
Shout out to him.
Yep, for doing that shout out, because Logan Cunningham as Hades, and then Najee Jeter as Miles Morales. This is a good category right here.
Yeah,
man.
That's another one. Anybody could take it. You know who I would pick?
Who you pick?
Do you know who really knocked it out of the park? Laura Bailey.
Yes, she did. I was going to say that. I gotta vote for Laura Bailey.
That's not just in context of a good video game performance.
Right.
Her performance was good in context of like an Oscar caliber.
Oh my God.
Like a lot of range, a lot of emotion.
Yep.
Really, I mean, spectacular work.
Smoke.
And Ashley Johnson.
Yeah, she did it. Yeah.
The two of them played off each other incredibly well. I love the performances in Last of Us 2.
It was amazing. But Laura Bailey as Abby, I had hands down, man. Smoke. Who you got? I know you got to give it to.
Either be Laura or Daisuke, because of the fact that I think he was able to both do it in English and Japanese.
That's right. And
also because of the fact that he also showed a lot of range. You felt his emotion within the story, but you felt Laura's too. So it's a toss-up. It's a toss-up between those two. Even though I loved Miles, I loved Miles Morales.
Yeah, Najee did a good. Yeah,
but it wasn't long enough for you. It wasn't as long as you wish it could have been. You wish it could have been longer. But if you're talking about the work that you had to put in, Laura, but definitely Daisuke, because of the fact that he was able to do both Japanese and English, and that's not something that you can just, you know what I mean? So, it's going to be a tight one too.
Yeah, facts. It's going to be crazy, man. And then of course you got like best ongoing game, man, which is like Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Call of Duty Warzone, Fortnite, No Man's Sky.
By the way, I'm annoyed by that Dead by Daylight isn't nominated in
How
there.
about that?
I'm also annoyed that Warframe isn't in there.
Yeah, facts.
That's an overlook. I'm sorry.
Facts.
I'm not a Fortnite fan, but I don't think Fortnite should make the list, and I don't honestly think that
No Man's Sky should be on the list.
I don't think that Apex Legends makes it either.
Yeah,
I don't know. I disagree with
you. In my opinion, No Man's Sky was horrible. I know they fixed it, but it continues to be horrible to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And real quick, just the last one before we get to our next segment. Best Cindy, of course, Carrion. I know Smoke played Carrion.
Yes.
Then you had Fall Guys.
I would say Carrion or Hades.
Yeah, or Hades. I got to do Fall Guys. Fall Guys was so much fun.
I don't even think it's a competition. I think Fall Guys walks away with this one easily.
Facts. So,
wait, was that the game you were talking about a couple weeks ago? When
those jumping beans and all that, yeah.
Okay.
I loved it, man.
And I'm sure that all the other games are great.
Oh yeah.
I played Spelunky before. I played Hades.
I do want to play Spiritfarer, yeah.
Yeah,
I just feel it's going to be Hades.
Right.
I think Hades is going to get best indie because if you already are up there best game of the year, you're going to get one or two of those categories.
Right. Exactly.
Now, it would be a trip if it ended up being a sleeper hit and it gets both categories, and I'll be like, whoa, okay.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. And then of course, really last but not least, I just want to put our best fighting.
MK11.
Yeah, MK11. We all say even the chat say MK11.
I agree.
MK11 is good.
And I'm more of a Street Fighter fan, but I got to give this one.
MK11. MK11 got this, man, easily, man. So if you want to check out the nominees, go to thegameawards.com or just Google the Game Awards basically, and they'll pretty much run down to all the nominees, man. But we'll see who wins Game of the Year, man. If it's going to be Ghost of Tsushima, Final Fantasy VII, The Last of Us 3, who knows? But stay tuned to the Game Awards. I think it's next week or in a couple weeks, I think, man. So we'll pretty much get out a notice for you guys too, man, because we're gonna hype that up, man. And along with the Game Awards, surprise, we are going to do our own Game Awards, man. The Pass Controller crew will be doing the Game Awards. And you know what? Who else better to explain it than our boy Civic? Civic, go ahead, man.
All right, so we've been doing this show now, for 4 years, and we're finally getting around to doing our first annual gaming awards. So they're the Pass the Controller Awards, otherwise known as the Passies.
The Passies.
We're going to be doing our show in December. We're going to have a date for that soon. But
yes.
Our gaming award show is going to be a little different than others, okay? Because we don't ascribe to the whole nonsense of like sports game of the year, esports player of the year. No. We're going to take a little bit of a different approach. So I just want to kind of read off some of the fun categories.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And explain exactly what we're going to do. So we're still going to do, the game of the year, but we're also going to have an award for the other game of the year. Okay? Because there's going to be two.
Yes.
Right. So we're going to have a category for your, what of course is going to be like a AAA game that's inevitably going to win the game of the year. But then we also want to give a game award to like that other game that's a really good game that would never make anybody else's list, but we feel that it deserves credit. Best multiplayer experience. We're going to do video game character of the year, video game movie of the year, which I think there has only one this year. So you guys might be able to guess who wins this one. We're going to do console of the year. We're going to do wow moment of the year, flub of the year, surprise of the year, the feel good moment of the year, the PTC show moment of the year, which is like kind of self-serving.
Oh, yes.
We're gonna acknowledge game soundtracks, best achievement in graphics, all this kind of stuff. Now, because we had such a huge budget at the end of this year, we decided we're gonna splurge, and we actually have awards for everybody. Hold on, this thing's kind of heavy because it's made out of it's made out of solid platinum. We don't go gold, we go platinum, baby.
Yes.
This is what the award looks
like.
Oh,
look at that,
Get
man.
a gander at that.
The platinum PTC joystick.
That's right. I got to use two hands. This thing's heavy. It's got some weight to it. It's totally not fake plastic painted over with a sticker on the front. This is pure, genuine platinum, baby.
Oh,
dude. And it's COVID approved. It's been sanitized, everything like this. So everybody who wins one gets an award. So we're going to be handing these babies out in a month.
Yes.
It's going to be really cool. So we're happy about that. And the way that our the way that our award show is going to work is we're not going to figure out until that night who wins the award. So it's going to be a whole heyday debacle. We're going to have everybody who's watching, we're going to chime in. You guys can give us our thoughts on who deserves what. You can vote, you can petition, you can campaign, you can argue, you can threaten, you can do whatever you want, but eventually we're going to come up with the winners. So
you can even argue that you don't want to be, that you still want to keep your winner, and you don't want to give up the loser. You don't want to.
Right. That's right.
And you're going to be a baby.
We might have to take some of these trophies and actually cut them in half lengthwise. So we'll give them out too.
This is gonna be hilarious.
Also another thing that sets us apart is that any game that is released as of that day is eligible for the award.
There you go.
So Cyberpunk, if you want to get your ass out of bed and launch yourself, you're going to be eligible for an award.
Facts.
If the Amico wants to come out early and you could be console of the year. You could be the Intellivision Amico could win this thing. Who knows?
Yeah.
It's a long shot, but you never know. It's going to be a formal event, okay? So ties everybody. We're going to be doing a red carpet special. We're going to be doing the whole nine. This thing's going to be completely legit and totally not fake and corny.
Are we still getting
it'll be fake and corny.
We still ordered that champagne, right?
Oh, we got the champagne. We got the bubbly,
baby.
Man.
Come on now. We got the pimp cup
we
ready.
We got the bubblies, man. I'm gonna bring my little bubbly glass.
I talked to Borat said he might show up and very nice. Very nice.
Very nice.
So guys, remember you can make sure that look out on Pass Controller on Facebook page for any details, especially the dates and especially the categories that's going to be announced, man, for the passies. Listen, it's going to be a fun show, man, but it's going to be enjoyable. You cannot miss it, man, because like I said, it's
you never know who's going to show up on our award show.
You never know who's going to show up. We'll see, man.
We're going to have cardboard cutout celebrities in the back on our Zoom call.
We might have Hip Hop Harry show up.
Oh my God!
Hideo Kojima.
That's how Kojima's going to come. Guys,
Jeff Knightley.
Oh my God!
You might have David Hayter call up.
Oh,
hey, everybody!
Michael Pachter.
Dude,
Mads Mikkelsen.
Dude, I know. You know what we're gonna have to do?
What's that?
Put another award category on here.
Yeah.
Lifetime Achievement Award.
Oh boy. Listen, there's gonna be a lot of surprises, people. There's gonna be a lot of surprises, man. So you cannot miss it. Make sure that you do stay tuned to the Pass Controller Facebook page for more information about the passies that's coming out, man.
Smith, he called me up. He said he might show up.
Yo, for real. Listen, shoot, man. I could, man.
He finished doing the reunion show. He said anything is possible.
Anything is possible, cuz I'll take that, man. Listen, I want to sit next to Abby. That's all it is. I want to sit next to Abby. You know what I mean? Laura Bailey. Listen, I got a seat right now. I got a seat for you right next to me. So yeah. Listen, it's been a fun show, man. We got to end it here. But as always, we got to do our end game credits. So make sure, guys, please share the stream to all of your friends in the game community so that they won't miss any of this info that we shared today. Don't forget to follow our other social media outlets, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch at PTC Gaming Show. Send us your questions at our email address, ptcgamingshow@gmail.com. More importantly, we have a community just for you called PTC Nation. PTC Nation is like, I lost count, it's like 1,500 people, something like that, man. Listen, PTC Nation, you can go on Facebook, search for PTC Nation, it'll pop up, or it'll be on our Pass Controller main page. Just scroll down a little bit, you'll see PC Nation bar. Just click there and you can join the countless thousands that's there, man. That's pretty much the countless thousands there. That's posted. That's pretty much. I see these guys know it. These guys know it. So join the community because again, PTC Nation is just for you. You can share your own gaming news, gaming memes, question for us to answer on our next show, gaming polls and videos. Share your Twitch channels, your Mixer channels. Actually, Mixer's gone. Never mind. Your YouTube channels, your Facebook gaming channels. Post your Xbox gamer tags, your PSN IDs, your Nintendo friend codes, PC Steam names, PTC Nation. PTC Nation is all for you to connect with one another so that we can all pass control together. Listen, I hate you, Smoke. See, remember, PTC Nation, we all, again, it's an active community. We all love what we post, man. So make sure that you join PTC Nation, guys. Again, it's amazing, man. Like Smoke, really, I hate you, Smoke, you know what I mean? Because Smoke does that all the time. You know what Smoke is a nut. Anyway, again, guys, it was... Listen, that is it, people. Our next episode is going to be the award show. We're probably going to do like a little post show afterwards, man. Again, guys, we're going to probably give you updates on the Game Awards as well, too, man. So make sure you look out for that, guys.
Yeah, we'll post up everything before the show, and everybody can kind of get an idea of what's being nominated. I might like every day, like I'll post up a new category and do like a quick like little picture montage.
That's cool. That's cool. I'm down with that.
Keep everybody in the know.
I'm down with that. So, yeah. Until next time, listen. With the Smoke, with Civ, man, with me, I'm McNux. Cause this is PTC Nation, ladies and gentlemen. As always, get good, people.
Deuces. Peace and hair grease, y'all.
Don't break the console.
Maybe you'll ride away or maybe you'll stay. But hey, this soul gets on me, been thinking for days. How to say that I love, don't care too much for the unpaid bills on the bedroom floor. I love lives on cheap wine and singing songs to a wasted sunrise. With you, with you, I feel like I am. With you, with you, I feel like I am somebody. With you, I feel like I am somebody. With you, I feel like I am somebody in control, like I feel in my bones, like I'm somebody. With you, I feel like I am. Hey, won't you come with me from New York to LA? Hey, we'll play this song in every city we stay. And hey, maybe we'll stream 1,000,000 times in one day. Be on our way. I love, don't care too much for the unpaid bills on the bedroom floor. I love lives on cheap wine and singing songs to a wasted sunrise. With you, with you, I feel like I'm. With you, with you, I feel like I'm somebody. Somebody in control, like I feel in my bones. Like I'm somebody. With you, I feel like I am. And so we made it in New York and LA, and how they sang in every city we played. I hear we streamed 1,000,000 times yesterday. Oh, how things change, and how the years keep ticking away, and how I wish that you were with me today. 'Cause I'd give anything to do it again. Oh, how we've changed. Somebody. With you, I feel like I'm somebody. somebody, somebody, somebody. With you I feel like I am somebody in control. I can feel you in my bones. I am somebody, somebody, somebody.